Hi there everybody, it's Sanna here today again. I am going to create a birthday card using this background die that you can create all types of landscapes with, and I've just die cut from regular white paper this strip, and I'm going to use it as a DIY stencil for creating the clouds onto the background, and then I'm going to cut using this piece the grass onto the card, and then use the balloons to create birthday balloons and add the sentiment. So this is the idea of today's tutorial, and to show you that you can create your own stencils using the Elizabeth Craft Designs die cut dies. We are going to start by creating this sky image here. And I'm just adding some distress ink, and I'm going to place this on a little bit different areas to create different types of clouds, irregular cloud background, so to say. So I'm just leaving a little bit white space between the strips that I'm inking, so you get the feeling that there are multiple clouds on the background. So this is really easy to do, and you can use regular piece of paper, die cut it, and create a cloud scenery onto your card. Really easy, just using the die cut dies for that purpose. So you really don't need, every single time you don't need to buy a stencil, you can just make your own. And let's add one more, and this is a little bit wonky, but that's what clouds do, so I really like this background a lot, and it creates a fun detail to any card. Okay, so we've got a basic background going on there, and you can either use this piece for something or just toss it because it's just a piece of paper, or you can save it for later and use it several times, because when you use it with distress inks and this ink blending tool, nothing happens to it. It goes quite a long way that way. So let's move on to the next step. So what I did next, I took some green soft finish cardstock and die cut a little piece several times so that I can layer these grass images on top of each other a little bit. And you can even use it both ways to get a more irregular look to your card and to your grass if you want to, but you can also go with this. So I'm going to layer, I think, 2 or 3 times to create a little bit dimension into this card, and then just adhere those pieces on place. And you could even use this type of piece as a stencil to create your own grass onto the card, but this time I went for die cut die instead, and I'm going to adhere this on place with double-sided adhesive tape by Elizabeth Craft Designs. I think these cards are so much fun to create and so easy. So just adding the adhesive there, and you don't even need scissors for that, you just rip it and that's it. So let's start with the highest part there. So let's adhere that. I'm just eyeballing things. I don't do so much measuring while I'm creating. That's the way I prefer it, but totally understand if you're more precise and want to measure where to put everything, then please feel free to, whatever works for you the best. And then the last piece here, that's it, and then just cut off any residue from the sides, like that. Okay, so we've got our background done, and I'm just going to adhere this when I'm done onto a white card base, and this will create a fun birthday card, for example for a child. So we've got our background done, and now all we need to do is die cut some balloons, and this is the balloon die cut die by Elizabeth Craft Designs, and I'm going to use this one to create some balloons here. And then I was playing with the thoughts to add these first, second, third onto one of the balloons, for example, but then as I don't know who I'm going to give this card to yet, I think I'm just going to add a sentiment, happy birthday or something like that instead. But you could totally also use this die cut set with the numbers and then add first birthday, second birthday, whatever. Would really make a nice detail to the birthday card too, but in this case I'm going to keep to these and then use the sentiment set, probably this one, build your own sentiments one, to add a nice sentiment somewhere on the card. So I will die cut these from, let me see, maybe I'll use even colored cardstock, like this one here, that might look nice on the background, against the background. So I get all these different colors here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's use some more scrap papers for this purpose, and I've got two different types of stripes going on there, so I'm going to use some from here and some from there to get different color variations. And let's make 3 balloons. So this is the first one, because they also have to fit onto the card. So I think 3 is enough. 1, 2, and 3. So that is more than enough. Maybe I'll make 2 of those and 1 of those this time. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'll just die cut these from this pattern paper and then come back to you in a second. And next what I did is I took this really light soft blue soft finish cardstock, added some double-sided adhesive onto the back, and then die cut these additional pieces to the balloons and the bows and the strings. Everything is there, and since I have the double-sided adhesive on the back, it will be really easy to adhere everything on place. So we are almost done with this card. So if you need a really quick birthday card for a child, or why not even for an adult, just this type of card might be something to think about. And you can adhere everything on place using the double-sided adhesive sheets or tape. For this part I'm using a little bit liquid glue. So there's the kids glue available at the Elizabeth Craft Design store. You can use that for this purpose. You can take a piece of tape, or you, before die cutting, adhere the double-sided adhesive onto the back and then die cut. It will be easy to adhere everything on place. I am a fan of using liquid adhesive. It's just a preference from me, but if you prefer a tape or anything else, of course feel free to use that. Whatever works for you the best is always the best choice to go. And then just adhere these pieces on place. And let's start from here. 1. 2. And these are so fast to make, these cards. Like that. And then the third one will go into the middle. this. And then adhere the bows on place and the card is done. Just sentiment. So there's one. And then the second one. You could also do every single string and bow with a different color. But I wanted to keep those similar to each other. So whatever you prefer could change. Make every single balloon look a little bit different. Would also make a nice result. And if you make these cards, you can also make a set while you're die cutting, because then you make like 6 or 7 or 8 balloons at once and die cut all the pieces, and then it's just creating the background, die cutting the grass and the balloons and adhering everything in place, and you have a total set of cards done in no time. Now the only thing I need to do is to figure out what type of sentiment I'm going to add to this card. Have a magical day would work really nicely. Congratulations. For a special someone would be nice. I think I'm going to use for a special someone and put it over here. Let's do for a special someone. I kind of like that a lot. For a special someone. And I think I'm going to use just white soft finish cardstock here, and then stamp on it, and then add the sentiment over here. And stamp with black ink. So I'm going to take a black ink for stamping and an acrylic block. Let me see, where's my black ink? Over there. So this is my go-to stamp ink. Just a favorite of mine. You can use whatever black stamp ink you have available, or choose any other color. You can also take colors from those balloons, or use blue or whatever. You can also heat emboss the sentiment, stamp with embossing ink, and then go from there. But I want to keep this card really simple. So I'm just using for a special, and then add the next sentiment or the word for a special someone. Like that. So it's really easy to do. And then that's done. Now to cut that into a banner. You can also take the banner die cut dies that are available at the Elizabeth Craft Design store. Hold on, if I can find them, I'll show you those. Here they are. You could also use these. This is the banner set, but they have the stitched banners, so you could die cut that with the banner and add it to the card. But I think I'm going to want to have it in the middle, so I don't want to use this. I'm just going to use my scissors, but this would work as well. You can also use a paper trimmer for this purpose, whatever you like to use. I'm going for my scissors this time. And then cut this into a banner from both sides. So this is also something you could do. Just watch your fingers while cutting. Okay, so we've got our sentiment there. I could even adhere this. You know what? Let's make a little trick. Let's do a little piece of 3D foam into the middle to lift it up from the background, like that. And then use some liquid glue to adhere both ends to the paper, so that way it will stand out just a little bit and won't go flat when you put it into an envelope. So like that. So it is a little bit 3D, but not too much, just a little bit. Can you see that? So it's just slightly standing up from the card, but not too much. And then just adhere this to a card base and your card is done. You can also use glitter, the silk microfine glitter. You can die cut these balloons from the double-sided adhesive sheet, then apply the glitter on top, so you get glitter balloons. That would be really lovely for a little girl. Use lots of pinks and reds and, you know, their favorite colors, and then just create glitter balloons. So maybe if I'm going to do a set of these, I could do a second card using the glitter for the balloons. That might be a little princess card of some sort. Little girls love glitter, and bigger girls, some bigger girls too. Okay, so that's the basic idea of the card, and there are so many different variations depending on what you use. You can also just use white cardstock all the way and ink every single piece like I did on the background. You can ink the grass and the balloons and the strings and the bows with distress inks or distress oxides or watercolors. You can use only soft finish cardstock in one color, you know, one color per, like grass in green and sky in blue, and the balloons in three different colors, for example. That would look good too. So we've got this type of card done, and maybe I'll make one or two more so you can see one with glitter, for example, and I'll show you that in the end, but that would be the basic idea. I hope you liked this video. This is a really short one, but it's a clean and simple card, so it's easy and fast to do if you need a quick card, and see you soon next month with another card idea. Thanks for watching. Bye! So I'm back with the second card idea, because I started talking about the glitter and then I thought I might as well show you what I was talking about. So I'm going to create a second card using the same basic idea, but I adhered some double-sided adhesive onto a sheet of white soft finish cardstock, and then die cut these balloons so that the adhesive is there already. And then I'm going to apply peony pink, bright grape and bright cranberry onto the balloons, and ink these strings and bows with a distress ink tone that will match the balloons or make them look even more brighter. And then create the background using the same technique, but I was thinking I'd create a pink background, because then you could give it to a girl. Why not create an abstract background that's not real, but you know, there could be pink clouds on a birthday girl's card too. And then again using this grass die cut die layered here on the bottom. So that's the idea what I'm going to create for the second card, and to show you how to do the glitter thing also. So I will start using this same stencil. This is the die cut paper piece that I used previously, and this time I'm not going to use a blue ink, I'm just going to take a pink one. And maybe I'll do the Victorian velvet or even this really bright. Haven't decided yet. And I'll just need to change my ink blending tool, so I'm taking the pink one. I still have these square ones, these rectangular ones, these older ones. They work as well as the round ones. I'm used to using them. So I think I'm going to do a lighter, let's see, lighter sky here. Like that. And as you can see, you can use the same stencil a second time. Totally easy. No trouble whatsoever there. And let's create a pink sky. Why not? Who says the sky has to be blue all the time? So let's create a pink romantic sky for this one. And there, we're almost done. Just add a little bit ink over here. And that's it. We've got ourselves a beautiful pink sky. So I used the Victorian velvet for the sky, for the clouds, and now I'm going to take the bows and strings and use a really bright pink for these. And I'm just coloring them while they are on the paper, because that way I will get an even coverage. It will be easy to apply the ink onto those die cut pieces, and as they already have the adhesive on the back, they will be really easy to mount onto the card too. So sometimes you just need to go through the trouble of applying the adhesive first, because it will save you so much time in the end. And it's not, you know, when you're using liquid glue for these fine details, it will be, it's much easier using an adhesive sheet like here. Since these are such small pieces, I am just removing the cover sheet just slightly, only partly, and then applying the glitter in the jar and then removing the rest. You can also use this as a stencil, by the way, but this time I'm just going to toss it away. So you have here this glitter applied, really easy. And next what you need to do is you just polish this glitter on place using your finger in. You just push through it in one direction, so you will basically just attach the glitter to the adhesive sheet and it will get it shine through that procedure. And now you have yourself a glitter balloon, and this color was peony pink. And I'll just make the two other ones and show you the finished card in the end.